Okay, let's talk about ACCA F5, which is your performance management. We call it ACCA PM, we call it ACCA F5. Few important things to understand about F5. Number one, many students, they believe that it is one of the hardest papers between F1 and F9. Yes, it is true because it has the lowest pass rate. Your first section is called Advanced Costing Techniques, which is also called Alternative Costing. And it has activity-based costing, throughput accounting, target costing, environmental costing, and life cycle costing. You might be getting a full 15 marks long question from section C, which is in your exam question section C, the long question. It might be coming from your alternative costing thing. So without going into details, like I said, that you need to understand the concept. What does that mean? For example, you need to understand what is the purpose of activity-based costing, what is the purpose of target costing, what is the purpose of throughput accounting. For instance, activity-based costing, the main objective is to allocate overheads. And by the way, overheads which are production and non-production. Now that's the basic difference. When you were doing absorption costing in ACCA F2, you were only talking about production overheads. But when you do activity-based costing, you also include non-production overhead. The purpose is to calculate cost per unit most accurately using the correct allocation of overheads. This was activity-based costing. Now, if you think about throughput accounting is not a costing method. We do not cost, we do not find a cost per unit in throughput accounting. So the purpose of throughput accounting is not to calculate the cost per unit. It is to calculate the profitability for different products. So it is a comparison. The purpose of throughput accounting is that you have three products A, B, C, D, and you need to rank them, according to their profitability. Which product is more profitable? So it is a decision-making thing that I should make B, I should make C, I should make A. Which product is more profitable for me? And then how much is my revenue per hour from that product, contribution per hour, how much is my cost per hour from that particular product. So throughput accounting is not for costing thing. Then you come for target costing. Again, in target costing, the issue is that how much you should be spending, how much. So in activity-based costing, it tells you that how much you are spending on producing one unit. In target costing, the objective is that how much you should be spending. So it's not about how much you are, how much you should be. And we find out the target cost, we find out the target cost gaps, we find out the cost gaps, and we close. Anyways, these are different things which you will learn when you will do it. So the purpose of speaking this thing is just to make you understand the importance of understanding each topic, why I am learning this thing and what is the objective. And then once you are clear about the objective of that particular concept, when it comes to exam, then you will be able to apply. So if we speak about performance ACCA F5 syllabus, it has 4 areas. First one is your advanced costing, alternative costing. You will get a long question from here. The second one, which is the most complex, and I would say that which requires most time, is your decision making. Third one is your budgeting and variances, and fourth is your performance measurement. So if I start speaking one by one, in alternative costing, you have activity-based costing, life cycle costing, environmental costing, target costing, and throughput accounting. These are the 5 areas, and most probably you will be getting a long question from here. Of course, life cycle and environmental are relatively easy, but activity-based costing, throughput accounting, and target costing, you need to spend good time on that. In decision making, what happens, that is the longest, where you find out the widest variety of topics, okay? And there is where students, they get stuck. So first is break-even analysis, which you call CVP analysis, and in break-even CVP, you have 2: single product break-even, multiple product break-even. And then you talk about limiting factor. Again, you have single product limiting factor and and then you have limiting factor, and in limiting factor you have single limiting factor and multi-limiting factor, multiple limiting factors. So multiple limiting factor is linear programming. This is where it becomes a little bit difficult, so you need to pay attention. After that, you have your pricing decisions, then you have your shadow pricing, Then you have got your, make or buy decisions, shut-out decisions, further processing decisions. Then you have your risk management part. In risk, you have, maximin, maximax, and minimax regret, and then you have decision trees. So you see there's a wide variety of topics in this area. In our course, we have got approximately 10 quizzes for this section, because I believe that this is the section which will bother you most in exam. But you don't have usually a long question from this section. So this section is particularly important for your doing section A and section B in exam, which is your MCQs and MTQs. So section 1 from the syllabus is costing, alternative costing. Section 2 is decision making, which I just explained. Section 3 is budgeting and variances. In budgeting and variances, of course, budgeting section is mostly theoretical. Variances section is something which you did in F2 and now there is advanced. So you have variable cost variances, you have fixed cost variances, sales variances. Then you have got operational and planning variances, which are called advanced variances. You have not done that before. And you have mix and yield variances. So, the basic variances are the same which you did in your ACCA F2, variable cost, fixed and sales. But then planning and operational and mix and yield. And again, you need to understand what is planning and operational variance. Once you understand the logic for that, then you have planning and operational variance for material. You have planning and operational variance for sales. So once you understand the concept of planning and operational, then you can apply it to the sales variances. You can apply it to the planning material or operational material, etc. So like I said, that again, not really very difficult. But the problem is students, they try to remember. Don't try to remember, try to learn, okay? So you might be getting a long question from this section. So budgeting and variances, you might be getting a long question from section C. Okay, then comes your performance measurement. In performance measurement, again, you have financial performance measurement and non-financial performance measurement. In financial performance, you have residual income RI, or you have a return on investment ROI. Then you have got transfer pricing decisions, very important topic. After transfer pricing, you have got, if you speak about non-financial performance, in non-financial performance, you have, balance scorecard, you have a building block model, which is Moon's model. And then, of course, you have, performance measurement for non-profit organizations. So 4 sections we discussed. Costing, long question is possible, as well as MCQs. Decision making, second section, mostly MCQs and MTQs. Budgeting and variances, could be MCQ, but a long question can come. And performance measurement, definitely a long question will come. So if you have 2 long questions, one is coming from performance measurement, and the second long question would be either from alternative costing, or it could be from budgeting and variances. So this is about your ACCA F5 syllabus. Syllabus is not really very long, but questions could be difficult, unpredictable, or maybe, complex, whatever you may say. So how you should be preparing for your ACCA F5 exam. Now, if you see on our course page, it's a very detailed course page for ACCA F5. I have put a lot of videos covering the entire content, and there are a lot of practice questions with solutions where I have explained you how to approach the question. It's not just that I have provided the solution. I've actually explained in every question that how you should, what type of information you should collect and how you should process that information, okay? So I suggest that you watch my step 1, you watch my lecture video. Step 2, you read the study text, which of course I recommend BPP. Step 3 is then you watch my video for question and solution. Step 4, you go back to the practice kit and do the remaining questions, because if there are 10 questions in the kit, I have done 5. Remaining 5 I have left for you. And when you get stuck in any question, I'm always accessible. What you do, that there is a community group on our portal. So you select that topic, that video for which you want to ask question, and you write it down on the portal. So there is a thread of questions under each topic, and then I responded there. I responded in text, I responded through an audio message, whatever it is required. So how much time is needed to prepare your ACCA F5 exam? On average, it should take you approximately 220 to 240 hours of effort in maximum. That would put you in in the very safe situation. So how do I make that 220 hours or 240 hours? So it is like 60 hours of videos approximately, and then approximately 60 to 70 hours of reading, and then 100 hours of doing practice on your own. And we have given you the syllabus, we have given you the study plan, how you should prepare on weekly basis. So you have got a weekly study plan. If you follow the plan, you should be in a very good position to pass the exam in the first attempt.